Little NFL update for you, Stephen A. The NFL announced this morning that the opening game to the season will be the defending champs, the Eagles, against Dallas and Philadelphia. Stephen A., did the NFL make the right call with this
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. It'll be an incredible rating, no doubt, way to open the season, but an NFC East rivalry game, if that's what you want to call it, because obviously the Eagles are the champions and the Cowboys are who they are. But the point is that I want to see a few games under their belt before a division rivalry takes place, since it means so much. I would have liked to see Dallas against a Kansas City or Baltimore or something like that, where you're not being affected by a divisional race. I don't think divisional races should open the season. That's my only
I think it's
issue.
a good litmus test early for those Dallas Cowboys.
No, I think you go to training camp or whatever. I mean, whatever the Eagles are on week one.
Don't tell me no. It's my opinion.
I don't think the football gods could have given Stephen A. better gift than the first game of the season.
Because he could just go down 95?
And it's the post game, on X, social media. That it's perfectly set up for that, by the way.
But be clear. Bless you.
That was bless. It's a cough, Stephen A.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be just sneezing. By the way, I've always felt that way.
I said, why is it that
You're just blessing me because I can't stop coughing. Thank you for that.
Oh, who said that? Who came up with that?
I'll take all those blessings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for those.
Take them. Don't debate with me, and I'll give you a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you. I need the blessing.
That's all it is.
Oh, it's a struggle bus here this morning, everybody, but I got some breaking news for you.
In 15 days until the NFL season kicks off. And guess what? We found out today that things will kick off in Philadelphia with the defending Super Bowl champs taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The opening game between the two NFC East rivals will be held on Thursday, September 4th from the Lincoln Financial Field. In 2 games last season, the Eagles beat the Cowboys by a combined score of 75-13. However, both of these teams saw some big changes this offseason. The Cowboys made a change at head coach, firing Mike McCarthy and promoting Brian Schottenheimer. Offensively, they added George Pickens last week, but lost offensive lineman Zach Martin to retirement. For Philadelphia, they'll need to replace some big names on defense, including Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. NFL insider Dan Graziano, NFL analyst Damian Woody, and betting analyst Tyler Fulgham are here with us now. Okay, Dan and Damian, starting with you. Answer this question first. How do you view the gap between the Cowboys and Eagles as they prepare to face each other in Week 1? D. Wood, going to you first.
Yeah, I still look at the Philadelphia Eagles as the runaway favorite in the NFC East. Not much has changed for the Philadelphia Eagles outside of with Kellen Moore moving on to becoming the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and Kevin Patullo is now the offensive coordinator. I can't imagine the scheme is going to drastically change. Obviously, every coordinator is going to throw their own flavor into what they like to call, but I mean, listen, you got Saquon Barkley, in the backfield. You got all the weapons that the Philadelphia Eagles have. They're returning 4 out of the 5 starting offensive line. Their defense is young and very talented. So for me, this is Philadelphia's division to lose.
Yeah, I mean, look, Philadelphia is an incredibly high standard to hold yourself to right now. You could make a case that outside of a 6-week stretch at the end of the 2023 season, they have been the best team in football for the last 3 years. So the Cowboys are trying to catch now. Now, that said, the Cowboys did catch them and win the NFC East 2 seasons ago. And Shea, those 2 head-to-head games you mentioned both occurred without Dak Prescott, who is expected to be back and healthy for the start of the season. So when you talk about what the Cowboys have added on offense, you absolutely have to count that. George Pickens, they think, will help, obviously, at wide receiver. They think they drafted in a manner that will help them replace Zach Martin, and they believe the offense will get a boost from the return of its quarterback. He's had 6 fully healthy seasons in his NFL career. The Dallas Cowboys have won the division in 4 of those. So I think the gap, we probably forget a little bit. This is a Cowboys team that managed to win 7 games last year, even though its starting quarterback got hurt midway through. So while the Eagles are a tough team to catch, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that the Cowboys could close that gap.
We've forgotten so quickly, it feels like, haven't we, Dan Graziano? I'm surprised with you, but now we'll ask Tyler what he thinks about the situation. Give me some good bets for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at futures for this Cowboys team, one that I really love is them going over 7.5 wins. Why is that? Because Dak Prescott's been a starting quarterback for 9 years in the NFL. The Cowboys have won at least 8 games in 7 of those 9 seasons. Shay, the only time they did not win 8 or more games is when Prescott missed more than half the games due to injury, 2020, 2024. So as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, you can pretty much bank on the Cowboys winning at least 8 games. So that's my favorite, is the win total over 7.5. Now, for Cowboys fans, I want to point you to the bottom 2 there. 9+ wins or to make the playoffs. These are plus money bets. And you were talking about the gap between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are actually closer to the Commanders than the Commanders are to the Eagles. And most people say, wait a second, the Commanders are easily the second best team. They could challenge the Eagles for this division. I don't think so. I think the Cowboys, with a healthy Dak Prescott, some of the moves they made this offseason, are a more legitimate threat to the Commanders as the second best team than the Commanders are to the Eagles as the best team in this division.
Are we forgetting that the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year? Guys, we're not talking about a team that just got into the playoffs like the Commanders. The Cowboys and the Eagles are very far apart from one another. Graz, jump in on this.
This is the part where I remind you that it's been 21 years since the same team has won the NFC East 2 years in a row. Weird things happen in the NFC East. These teams are very competitive with each other. They're crunched very close together. The Cowboys are going to play a third-place schedule with their starting quarterback healthy after a year in which he missed half the season. Don't be surprised if they win more games than we're expecting them to win as we sit here in the middle of May.
Okay, it should also be pointed out, Damien, as you jump in here, that right now the Eagles are favored by only 6.5 points. That doesn't feel like a lot of points to me. Damien, what do you got?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, this is the week 1. Remember, on paper, the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the National Football League. But when it comes to week 1, anything goes, anything happens. You got to remember the Cowboys have a new head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. We don't know what they're going to throw out there, so anything can happen, and that's why I think the spread is what it is.
Okay, well, let's dive more on the other side of it. Let's dive in on the Eagles, right? They have a new offensive coordinator, but in terms of the biggest question mark, Damien, back to you, what do you have for the Eagles as they try and run it back?
Well, Shay, you just pointed out, new offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. We know that I don't think they're going to deviate far from the scheme that Kellen Moore ran, but he is a new offensive coordinator. Seems like almost every year, Jalen Hurts has to deal with a new offensive coordinator. How is this coordinator going to, how is the quarterback offensive coordinator relationship going to be? How is he going to call games? And how are in-game adjustments? Those are things that bears watching as we watch the Philadelphia Eagles this year. Yeah, we know they got Saquon Barkley. We know what all the weapons that the Philadelphia Eagles have. But we have to watch how this offensive coordinator is going to call these games.
Okay. For the record, Jalen Hurts has had 5 different offensive coordinators since he joined the Eagles. It's been a lot. But, Dan, what are you hearing about the Eagles' plans on their OC, or on their offense, I should say, with their new OC?
Well, the big word you hear is continuity, and they believe that, Kevin Patullo, who worked very closely with Kellen Moore last year and has worked with Nick Sirianni for quite a number of years, will be able to, keep things largely the same. The personnel very much the same on the offensive side of the ball in terms of players for the Eagles. A lot of change on defense, not so much on offense. So there are questions. He's a first-time play caller. What will he be like as a play caller? Although he should probably call this one a lot where Saquon runs for 70 yards. That's a good play that he should be able to lean on. But this was an excellent running team last year. Historically great rushing attack. Inconsistent a little bit with the passing attack. So I think if there's a mandate for Kevin Patullo, it's to see if they can become a little more consistently productive through the air than they were at times last year.
So a lot of talk, obviously, about the offense because the Philadelphia Eagles were very good, though, on both sides of the ball. They keep Vic Fangio there as their defensive coordinator. So when we focus in on a very young defense for Philadelphia, what's a bet you like there?
There's not a lot of ways to get good value on betting the Eagles because everyone expects them to be good. That's why the prices are expensive. But one way I would bet them right now for value is for their first-round draft pick, Jihad Campbell, to be the defensive rookie of the year. That's 13-1. Now, I'm going to pat myself on the shoulder here, Shay.
Okay.
Last year, I identified Jared Verse as my favorite preseason defensive player of the rookie of the year bet, and he went on to win that award. Campbell in Vic Fangio's system with Jalen Carter and those big bodies in front of him, Zach Bond beside him, is not going to be thought about very often by opposing offensive coordinators. He's going to have freedom with his elite athleticism to attack quarterbacks, to attack ball carriers, to drop in coverage. He, I think, could have 100 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, maybe an interception or 2 and a forced fumble. Big things could be coming for Jihad Campbell. I like him as an early rookie of the year on the defensive side of the ball bet.
Okay, I like this a lot. The only thing I'll say is Vic Fangio's defenses usually take a little bit of time. Now, the Eagles, because it's such a complex scheme, this is what I know from when he was a DC in Chicago. Now, the Eagles obviously have a lot of vets young, but it might take Campbell a little bit of time to get used there, but doesn't mean he can't win.
I think that's a fair point. I hope he's starting week 1, but if he has taken a long time, we're going to lose value on this bet. I'm guessing as a first-round pick, even though they're loaded with talent, they want him to be in there right away week 1 against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
Love it. Really good stuff, everyone. Dan, Damian, Tyler, thank you.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we had a conversation about sports. If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Go ahead, drop a like, drop a subscribe, and most of all, please leave a comment. Let your voice be heard. So we got the championship reigning Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Cowboys September 4th, first game of the season. I think it's a good look, but I think a lot of people don't want to see it because it's a division game. Like Stephen A said, you know what I'm saying? It's a division game, and you know what I'm saying? That's typical, but not typical. But I got, of course, my championship reigning Eagles beating the Cowboys by 2 touchdowns. You got Jihad Campbell. He new to the squad. You got Saquon coming back. You got Jalen Hurts in a new offensive coordinator scheme. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple things going on behind the scenes, man. You know, I mean, it ain't really much to talk about, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You guys go ahead and put who you got winning this game, who you got the championship Eagles winning, by how much, or do you have the Dallas Cowboys winning, by how much? Go ahead, hit the comments up. Let me know what you guys got down there. Another thing to talk about. This is and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is I think they said this is the 4th or the 5th offensive coordinator that Jalen Hurts has had since he's been the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's kind of crazy, but we promoted Kevin Patullo to offensive coordinator. He should be good. I think he'll do big things. I think he'll call the right plays. But then again, the topic that I really want to discuss is how they have your boy Jalen Hurts, or maybe I should say my boy Jalen Hurts, number 5 in the top 5 quarterbacks right now. Now, I don't understand this. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. If you want to go back, go take a look at one of my older videos. It was a couple of days ago. They had a list out there where they were rating the top 5 quarterbacks. And it's crazy to me to think that you got people out here picking Joe Burrow way ahead of Jalen Hurts. And way ahead of Patrick Mahomes, most of all. I mean, Pat Mahomes is a beast. He got 2 rings already, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But not only that, you got people choosing Joe Burrow. Now, I'm not saying Joe Burrow is not a hell of a player. I'm not saying he's not a hell of a stats guy. But Joe Burrow has won nothing. He's won nothing. No MVPs, no All-Stars, no. He's won nothing of titles to make him in the top 5. You feel me? And then to put Pat Mahomes as 4 and Jalen Hurts as 5. I mean, come on, man. You got Jalen Hurts. He has been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1 ring, since he has been the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's hard for people to come out of their mouths and give this man his props to be a top 5 quarterback. You got people out here who got Joe Burrow way ahead of these other quarterbacks who has proven that they're championship quarterbacks. Joe Burrow has done nothing. I mean, yeah, he has a hell of an arm. He's a beast out there on the field. He's a stats guy. But to put him in front of two quarterbacks who has a championship ring is insane to me. It's insane to me how you have a lot of people out here who cannot even put Jalen Hurts in the race for top 5 quarterback. A lot of people out here will look at Jalen Hurts and won't put him as a top 5 quarterback just because he's not flashy, just because he doesn't make miracle plays. But if you think about it, he does make miracle plays. You guys saw what he did to Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That was a miracle play. He had several miracle plays. Like, let's be real, man. Can we stop the hate? Can we stop the hate? Like, right now, with these guys talking on the video you just watched before you got to me. And by the way, I'm your host, S. Dot, if I didn't let you know. But you see how every conversation that has to do with the Dallas Cowboys, that's all they talk about? You have the championship reigning Philadelphia Eagles. And the only thing that they can talk about and discuss is what will the Cowboys do. Now, I understand the Cowboys name and I understand the star. But when that star is not shining so bright, how in the world can you sit here and talk about nothing but the Cowboys? I mean, I give it to them. They're a flashy team. I give it to them. They're a promotable team. I give it to them. The Dallas Cowboys is a team that sells tickets, sells jerseys, makes money. Like, they're a team of entertainment. I understand that. But you have a championship Philadelphia Eagle team. Just came off the Super Bowl, blowing out the Kansas City Chiefs like no other against one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game in Pat Mahomes. And the only questions they can ask right now is, how much do you see the Dallas Cowboys chances are winning? What about Dak Prescott? Who does the Dallas Cowboys have? Who do they have in the backfield? Let's stop that. Let's go over to the other side of the ball. We have Jalen Hurts. We have Saquon Barkley. We got one of the top receivers in the league right now. Like, we got one of the top drafts on the defensive side with Jahad Campbell. Let's stop the madness, man. I understand they're a team of entertainment, and I'm not hating on the Dallas Cowboys because they are who they are. Anything can happen during the season. Of course, I'm going to choose the Philadelphia Eagles because that's my squad. I got us by 2 touchdowns. But man, it never fails, bro. It never fails. The only thing they can talk about is, what does the Dallas Cowboys have? What do they bring to the table? Look at me right now. That's the only thing I'm talking about is the damn Cowboys. Man, Jesus. But it is what it is. I mean, I understand why Cowboy fans. I'm trying to understand why Cowboy fans are the fans that they are, because that's all people can talk about when they're in a discussion. I mean, they just picked up George Pickens, and the statement out there right now is they got 2 of the top receivers in the league, and the Cowboys have a chance of winning the Super Bowl. Excuse me, hold on. So you mean to tell me because you picked up 2 receivers that have to get the ball thrown to them properly first. Now I'm not saying Dak Prescott is no slouch, but he's been hurt over the last 4 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong. He's been hurt a lot, and you still have him. You guys picked up a couple of players on the O-line. You still don't have a running back. Your defense is still similarly the same. But just because you got George Pickens don't mean you going to the Super Bowl. And I think that's where the Cowboys go wrong. The Cowboy fans go wrong, and where everybody goes wrong. Because as soon as they pick up a player, the first thing out of their mouth is, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. Every time they make a change, we're going to the Super Bowl. How about you guys be humble first? Humble. Let it play out. Let it work itself into the everyday games. And let that rise come. But see, that's what they can't do. See, with us Eagle fans, we sat back, we watched, we hung low, and we just sat until it was our time to rise up. And when we did rise up, we rose up to stay up. Eagle fans, hit up the comments section, man. Let me know y'all in here. Let everybody know when we rose up to stay. You feel me? This will be a repeat. Mark my word. We will win the Super Bowl again this year. Because not only did we get better, we got a whole lot better. Anybody who thinks I'm wrong, let me know what you think in the comments. All right? But I appreciate everybody for showing by. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I'm your host, Sept. This is your sports. And we'll catch y'all in the next round. All right? Peace.